What's up, poker players? Hope you guys are out there killing it on the tables. Been up and down over the last couple sessions. Had like 3 short sessions over the weekend. I think I was down a total of $80 throughout. Came close to running deep in a couple tournaments, but had a couple tough knockouts. Lost some coin flips, you know, the usual. Let's jump right into some of these sessions and tournaments and see what happened over the last few sessions. First hand we're looking at is Pocket Kings from the hijack seat. Under the gun +1, open raises to 3x, and we 3-bet to $11. And we get a call from under the gun +1. Flop is Rainbow, 2 8s, and a 4. We continuation bet for half pot, and we get a call. There's now $47.50 in the pot. The 7 of spades comes on the turn. Gives a couple more draws to this board. We are essentially pot committed right now with a little bit less than $80. I bet 23, and I assume that we are going to be beating the majority of this player's range right now. So I'm planning to get all the chips in the pot by the river, and this player does make the $23 call. There's now $93.50 in the pot. We have $56.63 behind us. They check back once again. If for some reason this player had a 6 in their range, which is very unlikely, pocket 6s could possibly be there, maybe a 6-5 or a 6-7 suited, but I think the chances of that happening are pretty slim. I think we would have seen more aggression from aces that we lose to, so I still think we can get value from the 10s, the jacks, the queens in this player's range. So I jam all in, and we do get a call from queens, and we take down a pot of over $200. Next hand we're looking at was from last night. This is Ace King. In the cutoff, open raise to 3x, and we get 3-bet by the small blind, who has played pretty loose so far over the 140 hands that we have on this player. I decided to 4-bet with the Ace King because this player has a pretty wide 3-bet range and has a little bit of fold equity when we 4-bet him. They make a call. There's now $58 in the pot, and we wind up flopping trip kings. This type of board is going to connect really well with this player's 3-bet and 4-bet calling range because there's going to be a lot of pairs in there above 9s. So they check back, and I bet small here to try to keep this pot going. I don't want to get drawn out on from hands like ace queen suited, which could possibly be calling a 4-bet in this spot. And he jams all in. I essentially have the nuts here with trip kings, and I do make the call and see that we just have to avoid a 10, and we do, and pick up another pot of about $200. Those are some big hands for us. Still at the 100 NL tables, we have pocket jacks in under the gun +1. Under the gun min raises, we just call here with the jacks. You could argue for 3-betting in this spot, but I elect just to call. 4 of us see the flop. There's $8.50 in the pot. It is a rainbow 10 high. We have jacks above the board and an up and down straight draw. Under the gun comes out firing with a $5.38 bet, which is 2/3 of the pot. I elect just to call here again, and the big blind comes along as well. There's now $24.64 in the pot, and we turn the queen, which gives us the straight. Under the gun fires again, this time a little bit larger than half pot, and again I make the call. The river is the king. We still have the straight, and this player jams all in. I think there's a good chance we're going to be splitting this pot, so I do make the call, and I see that he hit his Broadway straight with that river king. That one hurt. We would have wound up splitting the pot with any other card but a king on the river. Ouch. Now we're jumping down to the 50 and out table. We have ace queen offsuit on the button. We get an open raise from Obamka in under the gun +2. A call from the cutoff player to our right, and we just call here. I think a better play would be to 3-bet in position against these players. We see a flop of queen high rainbow. We have top pair, top kicker. It checks around to us, and we elect to bet here, half pot. We get a call from both players. The turn is the 8 of spades. There's $12.72 in the pot. I again bet $6.50 this time, half pot, and we get a call. The river is the 5 of clubs, and we get checked into once again, and I think that all the draws pretty much missed here, and if this player was calling down with king queen, queen 10, ace jack, there are a lot of hands that we can get value from here, so I elect to bet half pot, and Scotty Cock jams all in. It's a little bit less than $13 for me to call into a pot of $64 here, and I cannot get away from the top pair, top kicker, so I do make the call and see that he hit a straight on the turn with the 9-10. That was an interesting way to play it by him. him. He waited to check raise until the river. You could argue that I should have just checked back the river here because I'm probably not going to get much value from all of the draws that missed. I'm going to lose to draws like the 9-10. I'm going to lose to Queen Jack. But I do beat hands like King Queen and all of the other ones that I listed before. That's a tough one. I really didn't put him on the 9-10. I thought a 9-10 probably would have check raised on the turn, but he played it well. He got all our chips. What do you guys think about this one? Should I have just checked back the river? Do you think there were enough hands that we could get value from on the river that betting could be a winning play? Let me know in the comment section below. This hand we're at the 50 NL table. We have ace 6 suited diamonds in the small blind. Under the gun just limps, and we complete. See a flop. It is jack high, two-tone, 2 diamonds. We have the nut flush draw. We check back. This is a good spot to be check raising. The under the gun player bets almost a full pot here. I can tell by this player's numbers that this player is most likely a recreational player. They have not folded to a check raise on the flop yet, but it is a very small sample size of only 257 hands. So I elect to check raise, make it 3 times his bet. This is going to put him in a spot where he will have to decide for his full stack, and he jams all in. Pretty loose jam there with the jack 10. You're not going to be beating much of my range with this type of play. You're only going to be beating the draws, which is a 45% chance that I take it down anyway. It's about $16 for me to call into a pot of about $27, getting a little bit less than 2 to 1 on my money. I think this is a perfectly fine spot to call with the flush draw, so I do. See that we have to hit an ace or a diamond going into the turn and river. The 5 of clubs does not help us, and the queen of spades does not either. We wind up losing that pot. I don't think it was a terrible play. I think a lot of the times we will get hands like this to fold when we check raise on the flop. Let me know what you guys think about this one as well in the comment section below. Played about 10 tournaments last night. I think I cashed in like 4 or 5. No really deep runs though. Actually, I lied. I had one relatively deep run, and that was in the PCPC satellite tourney. Started out with like 450, and the top 5 get the tournament and vacation prize package. I think I took 20th, right around 20th. So I was getting down there. This was the 1500 guaranteed. Blinds and antes were at 2300. We have pocket jacks in the small blind. Under the gun jams all in. Under the gun +2 re-raises, jams the rest of their stack in. We're getting about 2 to 1 right here. I know that the under the gun +2 player has played pretty loose so far, and the under the gun player is going to be jamming a lot of hands right here, and a lot of the pairs that this player would be jamming we beat. There's also the possibility that each of these players has hands like ace queen, ace king, and we would be ahead of both of those spots as well. So I like to get the rest of my chips in here and see that we're in a pretty good spot against tens and ace king. If we pick up this pot, we were probably going to be in first place, and I think this one had just hit the money and people start to play pretty loose in this type of area in the tournament. King comes on the flop. That one hurts. We need to hit a jack on the turn or river, which does not happen, and we wound up losing a 64,000 chip pot. That one was big. You can see that we still have chips left, but our stack is pretty much diminished after that one. That one hurt a lot. I believe this is actually the same tournament that we just showed, and we fought back a little bit. Now we have pocket kings. We get called by the small blind. There is 6,600 in the pot. We have about 20,000 behind us. Flop is 8 high, 2 tone, 2 clubs. We have a backdoor flush draw with the clubs, and we have kings. The small blind checks. We bet 3,200, and the small blind calls. The turn is the 4 of diamonds. Now the board is even more draw heavy, and we have a little bit more than the pot right now in our chip stack. The small blind checks back again, and we bet 7,000. I think we're going to be good here the majority of the time, and I'm pretty much betting here to get value from hands that would be chasing, and a lot of the pairs above the board that we beat with our kings. And this player jams all in. I'm pretty much pot committed here. Can't really get away from it. Make the call with the kings. See see that we are up against a flop set, and we have to hit a king on the river, which does not happen, and we wind up getting knocked out of that tournament after fighting our way back for about the last hour. Ouch. Here's another one that was pretty deep in the tournament. We were in the money again, I believe. This was at a little bit after 2 in the morning. Blinds and antes are at 1800. We have about 14,000 in our stack. We have ace king under the gun, and I like just to jam here. We are going to pick up a lot of pots pre-flop, or we're going to get called with hands like ace queen or pocket nines like you see down here. I think pocket nines is actually a semi-loose call here. They have a lot of players to their left that could also be playing in this hand with a pair that's higher than the nines, so you're putting your nines in kind of a risky spot here, but they do call. We are up against a coin flip. We could hit a queen, an ace, or a king going into the river, and it's a deuce, and we get knocked out of one more tournament. Want to see one where I got lucky? This is from the tournament where we had the pocket jacks up against tens and ace king. Our chip stack was really small. We're building it back up. Folds around to us on the button. We have 96-12 in our stack, about 2 revolutions around the table. I'm just going to try to pick up one more revolution here by jamming and seeing what kind of full equity we can get. We have 7-10 offsuit. We get called by ace queen in the big blind. Not a terrible spot to be in. We are about 35%. Flop a 7, but this player hits the queen with top pair, top kicker. And we river a 7. Where did that come from? Double up. See, it wasn't all bad. What is this player doing over here with 152 chips? Hit that subscribe button if you have not done that yet. Head down to the video description for links to America's Cardroom and Hold'em Manager, which I use on a daily basis. If you have not signed up for America's Cardroom yet, use promo code DKPoker to receive a $1,000 deposit match bonus as well as 50 tournament bucks. I think America's Cardroom is one of the best poker sites that I've played on in a long time. I've heard about poker stars increasing their rake and that a lot of players are looking for other options. I would highly suggest America's Cardroom. Player pool is relatively soft, and from what you guys have seen in these videos, I've been doing okay. Pretty good. I'm not complaining. Moving my way up in the limits. I think the tournaments are even softer than the cash games. I think I'm going to do a lot of tournaments this week, so hit that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on any of the action. Watch for notifications that I will be live streaming. If I make any deep runs, I'm going to try to live stream those on YouTube as well as Twitch. Head down to the video description for a link to my Twitch channel as well. I'm going to start trying to use that more often. Give this video a thumbs up if you like it, and I will see you guys soon with a brand new video, but until then, I'll see you out on the virtual felt.